Hey guys, what's up? This week I'm going to be doing another story time. You guys seemed to really like last week's. Honestly, haven't had time to film another vlog. My life's been kind of crazy, so I'm sorry about that, but hopefully you guys enjoy this story. Before I get started, just make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can be notified every week when I post new videos. Okay, before I start this story, I just want to do like a little cliff note that my dream has always been to be an actress ever since I was 5 years old. Okay, good, you know that. Here we go. I was working in a kiosk in a mall that my parents actually were in the process of buying. I was about 14 years old at the time. In Alaska, there's cruise ships in the summertime, so we have tons of tourists coming in. I was standing at the kiosk, waiting on people, selling things, and this guy, we're gonna call him Ken, and this girl, we're gonna call her Lindsay, came up to me, and Ken was like in a Gucci t-shirt. He had like the nicest Nikes on. Like he was done up, like head to toe, chains on. You could tell he had a ton of money. So was she. She was just done up head to toe. And they came up to me and they were like, "Are you a model?" No. And they were like, "Well, we work for Ford Models. Here's our card. Like, we'd love to work with you. Please, like, here's the email on the card. Send us your stuff. Like, we'd love, seriously, you're beautiful." And I was like, wow, thank you. I was so excited. I was freaking out that happened to me because once again, like, this is my big dream to be an actress and a model. And somebody finally discovered me at 14. I rushed home and I emailed the email on there and was like, "Hey, I just met you guys. Here's some photos." Probably sent them like selfies and some plays I've been in. And they emailed me pretty quickly and he was like, "What's your phone number?" So I gave him my phone number and he called me and was like, "Look, I love your stuff. I showed my modeling agency. They love you. We'd love to fly you to LA and get you ready. We're gonna make you a huge star. You're gonna be the next big thing. Are you ready for this? Like, I'm so pumped to work with you." I was freaking out. Then I was like, wait, let me talk to my parents. So I went and I told my parents. My parents were a little bit sketched out. And they were like, "Who is this guy that's contacting you? Why isn't he asking us about it?" And I'm sure at this age I was kind of like defending him, like being like, "Well, he was going to, well, he said he would," and blah, blah, blah. No, he didn't ask anything about my parents. So they got involved and they were talking to him on the phone. And he was like, "I work for Ford Models. I'd love to get your daughter to be the next star. Like, let me fly her out to LA, blah, blah, blah." My mom knew right away it was bullshit. So she was like, "No, don't contact my daughter. My daughter's too young for this. Just don't contact her anymore." He started contacting me still, being like, "Can't believe your mom would do this. She's ruining your dream. You are so gorgeous. Like, you deserve all of this. You were supposed to be a star and she's ruining your career." Just making me really angry at my mom. So fast forward about a year later, he was still contacting me in between, but let's fast forward a year later. He started trying to get me to go to LA again, trying to get me to sign with Ford Models. So he said, "Let me have Lindsay call your mom and talk to her about it." This girl, Lindsay, calls my mom and goes, "Hi, your daughter is so pretty. We really want to work with her." I don't know what she said, something along the lines of that. My mom was like, "Who are you people? Like, stop harassing my daughter. Don't contact her. If you're gonna contact someone, contact me about it." And they were like, "Why is your mom doing this? It's your career. Like, don't let her talk to you like that. And like, she's just ruining your career. And you could be this potentially amazing person." And I remember him always being like, "Has she seen my Facebook? Has she seen my website? We're real. Don't let her think that we're not." So I pull up his Facebook and I show my mom, and like, it's all these photos of him with like Playboy bunnies and stuff. It's just weird. And my mom was just like, "Okay, is this guy real?" And at this point, my mom was kind of like, So she calls Ford Models that this guy apparently works for. She calls this place and goes, "Hey, does the guy called Ken work there?" Said his full name. And the lady goes, "We don't have anybody that's that goes by the name Ken that works here. My mom's like, okay, thank you. She hangs up. Skylar, who doesn't work there, don't talk to this guy anymore. So I get on my phone, I'm like, hey, my mom said you didn't work for them. She called, and he goes, who did she talk to? This is my company. I can't believe that they would say that. It's a lie. We are real. She probably called the wrong number, blah, blah, blah. And as a 15-year-old girl, I was like, I don't know why she'd do this. She's just ruining everything, blah, blah, blah. So fast forward again, about a year later, year and a half later, I was taking a trip to California with my best friend to her aunt's house. And I put it on Facebook, hey, I'm in California, blah, blah, blah. And he saw that post. Ken and Lindsay saw the post and contacted me again. Why are you in California and you didn't tell us? Why would you do that? And I was like, oh, sorry, I forgot about it. Like, sorry about that. And they're like, well, let's go to the Teen Choice Awards. They told me to send them a picture of my friend, and I did, and they're like, okay, she's cool, she can come too. So we were both pumped about going to the Teen Choice Awards. So we told her aunt, and her aunt was like, you're talking to who? He wants to do what? No, absolutely not. You can't do that. And we were both like furious. So I told them, hey, we can't go, sorry about that. And he was like, she said, no, why don't you guys just sneak out? The car outside waiting for you guys to pick you up with your dresses, and they'll take you there. And we were like, yeah, let's just go, let's just so do that. And I just had this really, really bad feeling. I just had like a really bad gut feeling about it. Called my mom and told her that he was contacting me again. Was like, he wants us to go to the Teen Choice Awards. My mom freaked out. She was like, do not go with him. You should not be contacting him. Why is he still contacting you? Do not talk to him. Block his number. So I texted him like, hey, we can't go. And he was like, I can't believe you guys. Why didn't you tell me you were even coming here? Like, trying to make me feel guilty about it, like I had done something horrible because I didn't tell him that we were gonna be there. Fast forward about maybe 2 years later, we were still contacting in between this. He would still message me and just be like, hey, how are you doing, sweetie? Like, are you almost ready to come to LA? Lindsay and I are here waiting for you, all that kind of stuff. I was living in Colorado at this point. Once again, I had put it on my Facebook that I had moved there, and he started contacting me. Hey, I'm gonna be in Colorado, let me see you. Like, okay. And then he started asking me all these really personal questions, like, what are you doing for work there? Where are you living? What part of town? How much rent do you pay? All this kind of like weird stuff, just like personal stuff. And he was like, well, I'm gonna come out there and I'm gonna take you shopping and I'm gonna pay your rent and maybe you can like come back to LA with me. And I was like, okay. My friend was with me and I told her the story about it and she was like, this is weird, but like maybe he just wants to give you money. He texted me a couple days later and said, hey, my plane just arrived into Colorado, let me come over and see you. Can we meet in like a public place? Yeah, let's meet at the mall, I'll take you shopping, I'll get you whatever you want. And so my friends and I went to the mall to meet him. I didn't tell him my friend was gonna be with me. So we get to the mall and he's standing there once again, like swagged out, like chains and all this stuff, and he looks really fancy. And he was like, hey, and then he like looked at my friend and was like, you brought somebody? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay. And it was so obvious that he was trying to get me alone. It was so clear and it was freaky. He was trying to get me alone. He would be like, well, let's go in the stores. Your friend can just like go hang out somewhere else. And at this point, my friend was like, Skylar, we need to run. This guy is scary. And we did. We ran away. We went back to my house. He started blowing up my phone. What is your address? I'm coming to your house right now. I'm sick of you playing games. I'm trying to be nice to you. I just want you to come back to LA. I just want to treat you like a princess. What is your address? And I texted him back and I said, look, if you don't stop, I'm gonna call 911. And that is when it all stopped. He stopped texting me, calling me. His phone was disconnected. His Facebook was deleted. That story like gives me chills to think about what could have happened to me. I recently worked on a project with this girl that had actually been taken into the sex trade. Someone had kidnapped her and put her in the sex trade. And I told her my story, that I had always thought that this guy was trying to get me to be in the sex trade, and she looked at me and said, that story is like very, very similar to mine, except it had happened to her. I was really, really lucky. I hope for a lot of younger girls that are watching this, that this never happens to you, that you are smart enough to just run away. Yes, telling this story, I probably sound like, I'm sure some of you are like, you were a dumb little kid, or what were you thinking? But you don't know what it's like until you're in this situation. They know the right things to say, and they know all the right things to do to try and get you alone. And it's scary. So that is the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for weekly videos. Comment below with your experiences or what you thought of my story. If you guys like me doing story time, I have a ton of more stories, so let me know. I'd love to do some more. Thanks for watching, you guys.